You're listening to The Drive.
Yo, it is The Drive, people, and we are so excited to be here in the studio again with members from CLES. Now, this makes my heart just so happy to know that we have people in Lebanon that not only are experts in mental health disorders and, of course, learning disabilities, but they are raising awareness enough for us to change the way that we see these things, the way that we make our children feel about these things, and the way that we approach these matters as it comes into our life. Because it's so important to know, because you never know when you're going to be in a situation where you're with a child, or maybe it's your child that might be going through some difficulties in their learning, and of course the way we react to it is very crucial to their response to it, and of course their well-being at the end of the day. And I'm so happy to be in the studio here with Noorhane and Tina. They're here from CLES, and we're raising awareness about a specific learning disability today. Hey girls.
Hi Sadie.
How are you?
We're fine.
Good. You're good. How's your day going so far?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy that you're both here, and we're talking today about developmental dyscalculia and specific learning disorder with impairment in mathematics. Right. That sounds very scientific, and I'm counting on you girls, or should I say ladies, to explain to us or tell us all exactly what is this.
Of course.
So mainly many children experience difficulties in math, and if these difficulties are extensive and persistent in nature, so we might have a neurodevelopmental disorder called DD, developmental dyscalculia.
I want to cut you off there. When we say difficulties in math, I still count on my fingers.
Yes,
so at what point do we know that?
It includes, in fact, deficits in number sense.
Okay.
Comparison between numbers.
Okay.
Understanding quantities. Stuff like that. Not able to do basic math operations, subtraction, division, multiplication, math reasoning, and fluent calculation.
Gotcha.
These
So
mainly deficits.
When you feel your child is really not understanding the basic concept of mathematics.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
great. All right, and what else is it? What else can we know about it?
These children also face problems in math because they might have due to impairment in visual, spatial abilities, working memory, other cognitive abilities.
Right.
And they might have low self-esteem and
of course, yeah.
Yes,
because of it, yeah.
Yes, anxiousness. That's why they need to be followed out by a multidisciplinary team, such as SLP, psychomotor, and psychologists in order to target the deficits of these children.
Now that sounds very intense. Any mother or father hearing this is thinking to themselves, oh my gosh, I have to put my child through psychology, through this, through that, just because of a small learning disability. It doesn't have to be as scary as it sounds, because that sounds scary. That sounds like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with my child. There's nothing wrong with your child. They just need a little bit of support and help to be able to get through it, right? Is there anything else we can learn about it? I mean, what it is and stuff?
So just like Tina said now, there are specific signs, if you want to say, and like just you said, every one of us had difficulties or faced difficulties in at school.
Yeah.
If these difficulties persist after hours of practice and adapted homework, then we can say that the child has DD. So the signs can be several signs, such as the anxiety when faced with number-related tasks, slowness in applying math skills, difficulties in memorizing mathematical vocabulary, like greater than, less than, smaller versus larger. They have difficulties in analyzing charts and graphs, and of course keep track of time, and this comes with poor time management.
Okay, all right. So those are the things that we should be aware of when it happens. Now, how do we know if our child, like, because it's very easy for us to be like, oh, no, ابن هيك أو إنه بنت هيك إنه هن بس ما بيحبوا الدرس. How do we know that our child, it's exactly what you just said, like these are the signs we look for, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And they have to be persistent.
Okay.
مش إنه for a small إنه فترة صغيرة. لا, they have to be persistent for a long period of time.
Yes, for at least 6 months.
Okay.
And then even with the provision of intervention, the child progress, but he will not meet the standards,
right.
level great standards.
Right.
That's why we know that he has DD.
Okay, and kids with DD, is this a lifelong condition?
Yes, it
is. Okay.
It is a lifelong
they should become
condition.
artists. Like it's okay. They don't have to be mathematicians.
No.
It may persist into adulthood, but of course with the right accommodation, with the right adaptation, they will manage to acquire coping strategies that will help them in their everyday life.
Listen, like I mean, all learning conditions are serious and, like, you know, they should be taken into consideration. But I feel like this one in Lebanon, because maybe in a different culture or different, like, mentality-minded societies, someone's not good at math and they can't process graphs and they can't do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's so easy for them to switch into different ways of learning, right?
True.
In Lebanon, we're so focused on math and science that this might seem like the end of the world for some people.
Exactly.
But I hope that people know that even if your child does have DD, there are ways to help them. And if there isn't, or if it's still like just a very anxious thing for them, there are other methods of learning. I mean, there's so many paths to go through and to educate, and then even end up in different careers. They don't have to be engineers. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
They can simply be artists.
Exactly, or a
Simply
teacher, or anything else.
Anything else. In fact, the parents might help their children by bringing math into their daily life.
Yeah.
For example, through small tasks. For example, I don't know, arranging things according to color, sizes, and weights. For example, counting cards, or sharing. For example, dividing sweets between siblings.
Yeah.
For example,
give your brother half of your sweets. Or
yes,
true.
Yes, true. Or for example, playing games that involve numbers. For example, Monopoly or role play, something like that.
They can as well use music and rhythm to help teach math.
Yeah.
And maybe use charts to help the kid to sort out the information. Like, what do I have? What do I want? And what do I need?
This might sound crazy, but I actually know I know a family that put their child through dance, and dance really helped them with counting and beats and rhythms and that kind of thing. So that also helps too.
The multisensory approach is very important for children with specific learning disabilities, with whether it's impairment in math or reading
or anything else.
Writing. Yes.
Well, listen, you guys honestly have helped so much, because it takes people like you that really does help bring out the awareness.
Thank you so much.
Maybe no one will ever go through something like this or have a child that needs a little bit of extra help, and even if they do, it's okay. But it's good to have that knowledge. It's good to know that if you are in that situation, we know kind of what to look for and what to do about it. So thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you,
Thank you for your time.
We're going straight back into the music. It's Virgin Radio.